The Trump Z meeting in Beijing has ended and Trump has flown back to Washington. However, this summit was a game of bluff and trying to assess each other and also to find and exploit some trade gains out of it. While America was looking for revival of the Boeing jet deal as well as other important trade deals, especially for beef exports and for soybean exports, Z was basically trying to see that America doesn't interfere in Taiwan. So, both the countries and both its leaders were trying uh, to look for what they can extract from the other country. Both of them stressed or emphasized on stability as they concluded a high stakes summit in Beijing. There was no clear resolution on trade, Taiwan, the war in Iran, or other major points of contention. Sitting beside Mr. Xi during a meeting at Zhongnanhai, the world headquarters for China's ruling Communist Party, Mr. Trump said that the Chinese leader had become really a friend and they felt similarly about the war. Thus, you can see that Trump left no words unturned for flattery. We have settled a lot of different problems that other people would not have been able to settle, Mr. Trump said without elaborating. Mr. Xi, on his part, said he had chosen to receive Mr. Trump at Zhongnanhai to reciprocate for his 2017 visit to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. But in the comments he made publicly, he avoided wading into specific issues in contrast to a blunt warning over Taiwan he had issued on Thursday. Mr. Zai described the visit as a historic and symbolic milestone. However, it is yet to be seen what concrete outcomes will come out of it. We have established a new bilateral relationship based on constructive strategic stability. So, the summit was full of rhetorics and big statements. A few hours after the Zhongnanhai meeting, after a lunch that included stir-fried lobster, kung pao chicken with scallops, and chocolate brownies, Mr. Trump boarded Air Force One for a flight back to United States. The Trump-Z summit, the first US presidential visit to China in nearly a decade, was a test of whether the detente between the two nations would continue. It was heavy on public praise and pleasantries. At a lavish state banquet on Thursday evening, Mr. Trump invited Mr. Xi to visit the White House in September. The White House described the Trump Xi meeting on Thursday as a good meeting and sought to underscore Mr. Trump's priorities, saying that both sides agreed that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open and that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. These were 2 points on which both the countries seem to have agreed. We have yet to see how far they will go to adhere to this commitment. Mr. Trump also told a reporter on Friday that he and Mr. Xi had made fantastic trade deals. Again, here Trump is boasting of finalizing some trade deals while the Chinese counterpart has largely remained silent on that. But US China relation tensions were never far from the surface. In formal talks behind closed doors on Thursday, Mr. Xi told Mr. Trump that the issue of Taiwan, a self governing island that China claims as its territory, would lead to conflict and an extremely dangerous situation if it were handled poorly. Mr. Z also made a reference to avoiding the Thucydides trap, a concept, a very important concept or historical anecdote between the Greeks and the Roman Empire, a concept that suggests that an established power tends to be threatened by a rising one, leading to a clash. Mr. Trump and Mr. Xi had last met in October in South Korea, where they agreed to pause a trade war. Before that, China had threatened sweeping new export restrictions on rare earth as retaliation for heavy US tariffs on Chinese goods. So it is important to note that while Mr. Trump is having a war with Iran, China is also supplying intelligence as well as ammunition, missiles and ammunitions to Iran. So there is definitely a lot of tensions between the two countries, though they underplayed it. Before the Zhong-Nanhai meeting on Friday morning, Mr. Trump wrote a social media post that addressed what he described as a suggestion of American decline by Mr. Xi. When President Xi very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps being a declining nation, he was referring to the tremendous damage we suffered during the 4 years of sleepy Joe Biden and the Biden administration, and on that score he was 100% correct. Thus, Mr. Trump very cleverly diverted the statement of Mr. Xi to the Biden era. It was not immediately clear whether he was referring to something that Mr. Xi has said in public or private. The White House did not immediately respond to questions about what had prompted this post. Mr. Xi is well known to believe that US power is waning and China is growing. However, the truth is both the nations are on decline, and who will be the winner is yet to be seen. Mr. Trump told Fox News that Mr. Xi had agreed to order 200 airplanes from Boeing, which was also something the Chinese have not spoken about. Another important issue that was discussed was about artificial intelligence. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the US and China will discuss guardrails on AI, including establishing a protocol for keeping powerful AI models out of the hands of non-state actors. So, overall, this can be said as an important milestone which has calmed down the nerves of the two nations. Hope that there will be further interactions between the two nations and the two leaders to make the world, to bring peace to the world. Thank you very much for watching.